Hello our fellow developers and welcome back to the new videos coming from the OpenGuild. And if you're not familiar with OpenGuild yet, so first I'm Tin, and OpenGuild is a community for the Web2 builders who contribute to the open source project, learn and connect enthusiasts together with a focus on expanding the Polkadot ecosystem. And we mainly focus on the Polkadot ecosystem right now, trying to onboard as many developers as we can. So about our videos today, that we're gonna talk about the overall development toolkits that you can use to build on Polkadot Hub. Polkadot Hub is the latest parachange, or I guess the latest technologies on Polkadot, and it acts as Ethereum compatible smart contract layers that allow you to build the Solidity smart contract but run on top of the Polkadot Asset Hub blockchain. And Polkadot Hub is a central gateway for creating and trading assets, accessing native Polkadot features like interoperability, native ECM's messaging protocol, and also all within the Polkadot high performance, secure and scalable Web2 platforms. And with Polkadot, your application gonna run on top of the infrastructure that gonna be fast and scalable, developer friendly, secure, low cost and future proof. Some key features of Polkadot Asset Hub include the Solidity smart contract that you can build any Solidity smart contract similar to other EVM compatible network. You have the familiar toolings that also the part that we're gonna talk about today, the toolings that we are gonna cover and help you to build on Polkadot. And we have hard Foundry Remix. And if you're already a familiar Web2 familiar Ethereum builders, you might already quite familiar with these toolkits. And you also have either JS and Web2 traders, VIMs that compatible with Polkadot Hub technology. Polkadot APIs, so all the APIs of the Polkadot network, like the Substrate API, access to the Polkadot API or D-Dot can be used in the Polkadot Hub development as well. Also, Polkadot Hub support two main type of the language. The first one gonna be Solidity definitely, and the second one gonna be Ink. So Ink is a Rust-based smart contract language. If you already in Polkadot, you might at least heard about it before. And I have to say interoperables also one of the key attribute of the Polkadot technology, allow Polkadot Hub to communicate with other smart contract. And here you have your Solidity smart contract can use ECM language to communicate with other parachange in the Polkadot network. Okay, that's enough for Polkadot Hub and also OpenGuild. Now I'm gonna want to introduce a bit about myself. So my name is Chung, and I'm currently a blockchain engineer and also a developer relation lead of OpenGuild. And if you want to learn more about Rust and also blockchain development, feel free just contact me, and I have all my contact on GitHub here. So you can go to my Twitters or my website or my LinkedIn and just ping me a message, and I definitely gonna reach out to you. Before we start some tutorial step, there are some requirements that we need to repair first, so to support our tutorials. And I'm ready to repair repositories in my GitHub. You can go to my GitHub, search for Scaffold-DOT, and then clone it on your local, so that you're already ready to get started. We have the Scaffold-DOT. So if you from Ethereum, you might familiar with Scaffold Ethereum. And the Scaffold Ethereum is basically everything you need to build the dApps on Ethereum. It will write the boilerplate code that include the hard and also maybe the Foundry as well. And depend on what type of commands that you run. Then you also have a ready front-end and the block explorer inside your dApps, to test and also to debug the smart contract. Now go back to Scaffold-DOT. So I have the Scaffold-DOT. If you install and then you launch, and then you're gonna have a website that also similar to Scaffold-ETH, but here you have the network to support Ethereum, to support your local substrate node, and we're gonna learn about those local substrate node later. But here in the Scaffold-ETH, you also have the block explorer full set and the ready for them to get started working on smart contract development. Okay, now so I think you already get the big pictures on the Polkadot Hub and the technologies that we're gonna talk about. So now we're gonna go to the main part, the Polkadot Hub development, how you can have the hands-on experience working on the smart contract and deploy it on Polkadot Hub. So first, like, let me introduce you to the official doc from this is like developed by Papermoon. This is not like live on the Polkadot.com yet, but like you can already like access to it through this URL like papermoon.github.io, Polkadot mkdoc, or like the fastest way is to search for like hackathon survival guide Polkadot, and then you're gonna find like the first options, like the first search result is like about the Polkadot hackathon survival guide. So this the hackathon survival guide is the document I'm talking about, and in the Polkadot Hub documents, you're gonna go to like the smart contract developers, and you can find like, okay, so you have like the learn, the build, the tools and resources. And now I want to learn about the overview of the smart contract on Polkadot. So it's gonna guide you to like what is the smart contract on Polkadot about. So, and it's introduce you to the Polkadot Hub and the Ethereum compatibility layers of how the Polkadot Hub works, and also like the underlying architectures of Polkadot Hub, for example about the Polka VM. But we're gonna have like separate videos about the Polka VM, not in this video, not in these videos. The part that we want to cover here is like the development tools and resources, like contract development in Solidity, support like standard Ethereum development libraries. Now we go to the connect to Polkadot. So right now, like the official Polkadot Hub testnet is on Parcel. So Parcel is a testnet of the Polkadot network, Polkadot Relay Change, and Polkadot and Parcel is also has its own asset hub. And to work on the testnet, you're gonna like add these to your MetaMask. So like Polkadot Hub testnet, Parcel, the chain ID, the RPC URL, and the block explorer URL. And for the block explorer URL, so the Polkadot asset hub like using block scout. So if you go to like the URL, you're gonna find the explorer is for Polkadot for like Parcel asset hub. In the guide, you might find like the section called install the substrate node and the Ethereum RPC adapter, and all these can be accessed to the Polkadot SDK GitHub. So you go to the Polkadot SDK. So if you like in Ethereum builders and you're not familiar with the Polkadot technology yet, so like all the project in Polkadot or like also the Parcel asset hub that you're working on right now, that is built on top of the Polkadot SDK, a software development kit that allow you to build the blockchain and plug it into the Polkadot relay change, or it can also like be a solo change. And I already like published a lot of videos about like Polkadot SDK development on Polkadot SDK already. So just go to my YouTube and you're gonna find those videos. So in the Polkadot SDK, you're gonna clone it. You run like cargo build, substrate node, release, and cargo build palette revive. Ethereum RPC at RPC release, and all with like these command, it's gonna like build your substrate node and also like your Ethereum adapters. So the substrate node allow your network to reproduce the new block, and the Ethereum RPCs adapters is gonna like create like the adapter layers on top of your node, running on a different port. Allow like Lion libraries, allow like Ethereum compatible wallet can like access to the block in your substrate node, and also like submit the transaction to your substrate node. And now we get back to Scaffold-DOT, and I expect that you already like install it, like clone the repository on the local on your local. Now what you need to do is like do yarn to like install all the dependency for the code base. And remember, like we're talking about like substrate node and also like Ethereum adapter node, right? So how to run that? So like in the repository, I already repair the binaries. So like if you go to hard binary, add RPC and substrate node, there's are like two like binaries that already pre-installed in the repository for you, like the add RPC and the substrate node. And to run like the change on local, you can run like yarn change. Then you're gonna have you're gonna see like the command here, like starting the server as this endpoint and running the command substrate node at the RPC port like 8000. And starting the Ethereum RPC adapter at the 1845 port. And where are all these are configured? So we go to the hard config.js, and now you can find like we have like the networks for hard using the Polka VM. Node config is like the node binary substrate node, and the adapter config is like the binary like Ethereum RPC node. Now go back to our terminals, then you can find like the blocks are starting producing and like the best block currently at 15, like the final price block height is around like 14. Now you go to the Polkadot.js app. So this is like the Polkadot substrate portals that like all the Polkadot developers are familiar with this. You go to the endpoint like 8000 is where like the node is running right now, and save it. Then switch to the endpoint. Then you're gonna find like there are block there are like block is being produced, and currently like the recent block is around like 39, and you can also like find like the finalized block and the best block here. Then like this like the block times is like 2 seconds and the total issuance. So you click on the account and you can find like all like the development account of the chain. As we just get to like all the accounts substrate, I think it's also like quite important to like mention the accounts on the Asset Hub's like smart contract. So because like Polkadot Hub is built on top of the Polkadot network. Originally, the Polkadot network has different type of address. In the Polkadot network, it's the account 32 bytes, but like in Ethereum, it's only like 20 bytes. So it's a different format. And as you can see in the doc, in the section of the account, you can find like the Polkadot account 32 byte system. Provides also like provide the interop abilities to like Ethereum 20 byte addresses. There's an automatic conversions mechanisms to help like convert between like Ethereum address and the Polkadot address. But like first, like, let's understand like what's the difference between these two. So the Ethereum compatible wallet like MetaMask can use their familiar like 20 byte addresses. Polkadot account continue using their native like 32 byte format. So that means like one account on Polkadot like can be both like Ethereum compatible and but still like a native Polkadot account. And the Polkadot Hub like automatically like, handle the conversions between the two formats under the hood, so user don't have to care about it. Like your experience is only like using the wallet, transfer, do interact with smart contract. You don't have like to care about like all these kind of like conversions, because like the runtime modules already like handle that for you. So the 20 byte Ethereum addresses are padded with like 0x EE byte to create a valid 32 byte Polkadot account, and 32 byte Polkadot account can optionally register a mapping to a 20 byte address for Ethereum compatible. So imagine like this is your Ethereum address, you have this string, and to convert it to a substrate address, or can say like Polkadot account address, now you just simply add like the padded 0x EE. Yeah, like add like the add a string here at the end of your Ethereum address, and you're gonna have a substrate address. Okay, and that's about like Ethereum to Polkadot mapping. So what about like Polkadot to Ethereum mapping? So the conversion from like 32 byte to 20 byte addresses is handled like to a stateful mapping system implemented in like address mapper. So like if you're interested in the Polkadot SDK and how like they do that under the hood, you can search for like this address mapper in the palette revive, which is like the runtime modules for like all these kind of Polkadot Hub virtual machines. So the core functionalities of this include like address conversion in both directions, account registrations, and management and mapping status verifications. Now to understand it better, so like, the way that you can map it, so just go to revive, go to like your substrate portal, search for the palette called revive, which is like the revive palette, and then search for the method called sorry, it must be here, revive, and then search for map account. So you're gonna like map the account. So let's say like if I map the account Alice, it's gonna throw an error like account already mapped, because like by default all the account that you see is on the account tab. Preceding accounts is already all mapped. Yeah, let's say like I unmap the Alice account first. Now you see like the block is already like be included, so this is already like effective, and then I map the account again, and you can see now the account is already mapped, and now you already like have the Alice Ethereum address already. Okay, and now we switch to our VS Code again. Here's like the Solidity smart contract, like any like other hard project. Let's learn like how what's the difference between like Polkadot Hub hard and the other like hard in like Ethereum. Let's take a look at the dependencies. So in like with like Polkadot Hub, you are required to install the dependency like Polkadot hard Polkadot and the parity revive. So if you go to GitHub and you search for the repository like hard Polkadot, then you can find like this plugins for hard with like the Polkadot. And with this, like, it provides 3 different plugins: the hard hat Polkadot, that the umbrella plugin that provides functionality and a convenient CLI. Hard hat like Polkadot resource. This one is like compile solidity smart contract for the Polkadot network, creating like Polkadot VM compatible hard hat artifacts. And hard hat like Polkadot node that is run a Polkadot node locally. And you might find like the terms like resource is like a bit strange, but like source is like stand for like solidity compiler, and resource stand for revi. So this revi is also another like repository from Parity, and it's a solidity compiler for Polkadot, like targeting the Polkadot VM in palette revi. So if you're not familiar with the overall architecture of Polkadot Hub yet, so let me like give you a very quick introductions. So the Polkadot Hub is a parachain, right? And like for the Polkadot Hub to have the ability to execute the solidity smart contract, solidity smart contract must be like compiled to the intermediate representations, and for that compilations process to be done, you are required to have this solidity compiler called revi. So revi gonna like compile your solidity into like intermediate representations, and then it's going to be passed to the Polkadot VM to be compiled again into like RSC file, because Polkadot VMs is like the virtual machines that use like RSC files and demands ISA. So in fact, like if you're interested, you can also like install resource manually and then like compile your solidity smart contract, but like in Scaffold-DOT I already handle those for you. Now we get familiar with like all the dependency already. Now let's say like I want to compile or the smart contract, so I can run like yarn compile, and this yarn compile is gonna run like hard hat compile. So this hard hat is currently the hard hat is required in the plugins. So go to the hard hat config.js, and you can find it using the plugin from Polkadot called hard hat Polkadot, and this is a requirement for the hard hat toolbox and the hard hat ignition. So this is already either the requirement either that you use like Polkadot, or either you build on PVM or EVM. So now let's go back, and then you can see like it's already like compiling like 13 solidity files, and then waiting a bit, and it's successfully like compiled 30 files. So then like you can find like all the artifacts in here. So you go to the cache, not like the artifact PVM, you go to the contract, and you can find like this Uniswap JSON's metadata like API. Okay, and let's say like you want to run the test, but before like I run the test, let's go to the test first, and then you can see like in the test, it's like just similar to the other hard hat test. It's using like adders, a library to interact with the smart contract. So you have like the smart contract, and then like you like build a factory for it, interact with the smart contract, and then like you just follow the logic. So like you can visit this file to like reference for like how you can write the test with hard hat, and it's actually like just similar to like how you use like hard hat normally. But like because you already have all the configuration ready, so as you can see, like it's not very complicated. There's another thing that I want to talk about is the resource configurations. So these resource configurations, you can like define the compiler source, or just specify like where's the source coming from. You can specify it can be a binary. The compiler source is a binary, but then like you have to like define the source path, the path to the resource file. On the other hand, it also have the optimizer, and there's in the optimizer there are different attributes, like whether you want to enable the optimizer, the parameter for the optimizer fallback, and like the number of runs. That's also the EVM versions or like the compiler path as well. So like just explore, and you can find like these parameter might be like interested to you when you like working with hard hat Polkadot. Okay, so there's another thing that I want to mention as well is like the Polkadot Hub testnet. This one is like you define network for let's say like you want to define network for 2 mainnet or like the testnet, not just like a local hard hat like this. So you can like define like, first is like the name of the network, and then like using like Polkadot VM, and then the URL to the network. Here is using the parcel setup. Ethereum RPC. Remember, like the URL here must be like the Ethereum RPC adapter. It's not like the substrate node. Now we're gonna move to the more interesting part that like involve the front end side and see like how the Scaffold-DOT can do. Now you open like your terminal and you run like yen start. Maybe it can be like on the root directory or just in the packages of your Next.js, but that's okay. Now we go to like the packages, the Next.js, and then you do the yen start. And I actually already have like a running front end right here, so I'm gonna skip this part. And if you run that, then you're gonna have a running the Scaffold.UI here. So the Scaffold.UI is basically just similar to the Scaffold, but like I added another page called like Block Explorer. So in this Block Explorer, you can like see all the transactions and all like the miners, the gas use, gas limit, base fee, and also like the block numbers. So right now, like there's like 4,813 blocks, and it is like updated intervally. So now you can see like all the block number is in like increments in real times. And with that in mind, like, you can see like your network is running. And if you click on the block number, you can see like the specific block data of like that block, like how many transactions is there, like the hash of the block, and also the parent hash, like the block numbers, the miners, and also all the extra informations that you want to learn about the node of the block. Sorry. Okay, now the another interesting things that I want to guide to this tutorial as well is like deposit to your Ethereum address. So to deposit to your Ethereum address is a bit different. It's a bit like different from like, let's say like on the Ethereum mainnet. Here, like let's say I have like 0.01 and I want to deposit to the account. And how can I do that? So like I open the subtree node, and remember like native Polkadot address and Ethereum address are like two separate, two different things. They are not like related to each other directly, but like there's still a relationship. So let's say I want to deposit to my address. I go back to Scaffold-DOT. I gotta copy this address, or like you can also like click on like view code. You copy this one, and you go back to the subtree portal, and then you add to the destinations with the value and like the data. Now we transfer to the 0x0 the data nothing, and the address is gonna be like the address of the Ethereum account. And if you trigger it, it's gonna like sending this amount of value to the destinations, but like having like nothing, having like zero data. So if you like submit a transaction similar to like you submit any kind of transaction in Polkadot, click on sign submit, and then you can find loading right here, and block is included. Go to the network, and you can see like the balances it transfer from the Alice to like this address right here is like the Polkadot address of the wallet I just transferred to. And I go back to the Scaffold-DOT, and you can see now my balance is updated. It's go up to like 0.1 Ethereum. Yeah, this is not like the exact like Ethereum, but like just a very mock data. There's also like all the features like the block smart contract, like go to full set as well. So here like instead of like if you don't not like familiar with like Polkadot's full set and how you can like request for the full set aside from like running a node like that. Let's say like if you on the testnet, like Polkadot Asset Hub testnet, how can you do it? Now you just click on this button right here. It's gonna redirect you to the parcel full set, and then like in that way you can like add your Polkadot address here, and then like it can like request for the old full set. Now you can see it successfully send parcel to the address. And if you go to the block explorer, I guess this is like the block that we want to take a look. So this block is my new transactions, and these transactions is a coin transfer from this address to the another address. Not exactly sure like if it's the right one, but yeah, like you can see like that's like the example of the transactions. It's different from like Polkadot transactions because like the transaction in Ethereum has different structure than the extrinsics in Polkadot. And I think that's pretty much like everything that I want to share in today's tutorials. We're gonna have like more videos in the future to talk about like Polkadot Hub, and also like about like low-level architecture and like more toolings related to like Polkadot Hub development, and really excited to bring this Scaffold-DOT to the community, and then like you guys are open to use it to fork it and do whatever you want. So feel free to contribute, and thank you for listening to this video, and see you in the next video.